Hi everyone. Good morning to everyone watching. Good morning, Shivam. How are you doing?
Morning. I'm doing great, Saurabh. How are you?
Yeah, all good. How's the weather there?
Yeah, it's pretty chill, I guess. Things are, rainy season is coming, so it's going good. And
Oh,
yeah, it feels pleasant overall.
all right. So today, what we are going to talk about is suffering. Suffering, generally, people get okay, it's some negative thing, but usually not. We are going to talk about how can we use the dharmic texts, like how can we use the knowledge of the Vedanta, the knowledge of the Gita, to deal with our own personal problems. And I was telling my friend that I'm going to do this video on suffering, and he said, "कौन सा suffering, यार? Hindi wala है, English wala?" Then I was like, "Huh, maybe." Hindi suffering, suffer in Hindi means the journey. So maybe, yeah, yeah. Then I told him, you gave me my histrionics are set for this video. So yeah, for this video, we are going to first talk about how can you deal with your personal problems using the knowledge or by deploying the knowledge of the Vedanta. And probably depending on the time we have, we'll continue with the the knowledge from the Bhagavad Gita to deal with your personal problems in the next video or so. We'll see how this one goes. So Vedanta, right? The Vedanta comes from the Vedas, which are the foundational texts of Sanatan Dharma. And there are two sides to the Vedas, in the four Vedas that we have. One side is called the Jnana Kanda, and the other side is called the Karma Kanda. So the Karma Kanda of the Vedas deals with the ritualistic side of things, the religious side of things, the yagyas and all. Whereas the Jnana Kanda deals with the knowledge of the self, the knowledge that enables you to become fearless, or the knowledge that enables you to be enlightened, or the knowledge that enables you to be free from whatever that happens in life. And that is what we are going to discuss about. And this the Jnana Kanda part of the Vedas is there in the Upanishads, and there are 108. And Upanishads is a Sanskrit word which, if you break it down, U means the word Upanishad, U means getting close or approaching. Pa means getting clarity and conviction. And Shad means getting rid of suffering or reducing your personal problems. So Upanishads means get close to the knowledge. Get close to the knowledge as in watch YouTube videos, read books, read about the Gita, read about any other religion, and then get that clarity and reduce all your suffering in this world. In Vedic terms, it's called Shravana, Manana, and Ninidhyasana. So Shravana means listening, Manana means dwelling upon it, and Ninidhyasana means contemplating deeply, assimilating that knowledge and applying it to your daily life. So that is what we are going to discuss about in this video, right? So, Upanishads, right? Like there are, as I said, there are 108 Upanishads, and the entire knowledge of the Upanishads are there in what we call the Mahavakyas. There's even a Wikipedia page on Mahavakyas that you can look at. So there are like four Mahavakyas coming from the Upanishads, the Chandogya Upanishads, and it's there in all the part of the four Vedas. They come in the separate Vedas. So what the Mahavakyas are, like essentially what they mean is that this very self, this very soul, the Jivatman, is Brahman. And even the other Mahavakya, which Aham Brahmasmi or Prajnanam Brahma or Tattvam Asi, that thou art. The ultimate reality is nothing but you. This very self is Brahman. And we are going to deduce this statement to understand how can we use this statement to empower ourselves to deal with our own personal problems. So we are going to heavily rely on Adi Shankaracharya's commentary on the Vedas, and Adi Shankaracharya was a legendary figure in Sanatan Dharma, and his commentary, like if you read any of his words, I can guarantee you will feel so empowered. Like every word that he writes is empowering to the very core. So we are going to whatever I'm saying is just inspired from his commentary and some commentaries by the Ramakrishna by the lecturers at the Ramakrishna Mission, right? So yeah, so this very self is Brahman, right? And what is Brahman? Brahman is that infinite conscious existence, consciousness, bliss, as Shankaracharya calls it, Sat Chit Anand, or Chidananda Rupam Shivoham Shivam, which you've heard in many chants if you've been to temples and all. So to understand this, we have to first break down Why is Brahman the ultimate reality? And why is that ultimate reality you, the existence, you, this very soul? And we are going to use the Advaitic principles to understand that. Advaita is again a Sanskrit word which means non-dual. Dvaita means dual, and Advaita means non-dual. Meaning non-dual, meaning we are nothing but that one ultimate reality. Everything that we see is that one ultimate reality alone. So to now let's get deeper into the topic and understand that what is that one ultimate reality? What is that one ultimate existence? Why is there only one existence? Only there's only one existence. So to get started, let's just understand what is existence in the first place. Like, how do you determine if a thing exists? Like, how does this pen exist? How does this paper exist, right? So for according to Shankaracharya, for anything to exist, the first aspect is that it should be knowable, right? For anything to exist, it should be known. There should be a knowability. In Sanskrit means prameyam. In Sanskrit means prameyam. Because if a thing can't be known, then how can it exist? It's useless, right? If a thing can't be known. And for the second aspect is for anything to be known, there must be a knower. Knower meaning you, the self. If there is no knower, if there is nobody to talk about it, then how can it exist? Like so, two aspects. First, for anything to exist, it should have knowability, and for knowability to be there, there must be a knower. Third one, who can be the knower? The knower is someone who has awareness, who has that consciousness, chitta. So without awareness, there's nothing that can be known, right? And the fourth aspect is awareness alone can't just know things. Awareness uses the mind, the body, to the mind to think, the sensory organs to feel, to experience. And once a combination of these four aspects leads to existence. So the consciousness plus the mind body framework enables us to know something, right? And then and the fifth aspect it is where it gets very interesting as to why this one consciousness is everything that exists. That's the one true reality. Shankaracharya uses, there's a very famous saying of his. He says that Jagat Mithya Brahman Satya. Jagat, a Sanskrit word again, which means the one that goes, the world, is Mithya, means false. And Brahman, the ultimate reality, existence, consciousness, bliss, Sat Chit Anand, is the only thing that is real. And now he explains. He says that for anything to exist, uh, that existence of that very subject should be independent, meaning anything which has a dependent existence is not real. So let's get deeper into this. Pen has a dependent existence because this pen exists because I can see it, right? Because I'm the one seeing it, that's why it exists, right? Similarly, you look at any other thing like the why is consciousness the ultimate existence? Because consciousness uses the mind body framework to understand things, meaning without the ultimate awareness there can't be any existence. So imagine you shut off your awareness. Can the mind body system framework work if you shut down the exist if you shut down your awareness? No, right? So he says that without awareness there cannot be mind or body. So mind and body are nothing but objects that have a borrowed existence. They don't have an intrinsic existence of their own. But consciousness alone has an intrinsic existence. It doesn't need any other thing for it to exist. I want to share my screen and uh, kind of give an example that Shankaracharya also gives, and I'll show you one figure that I want to share. So if you look at this picture, right? So here there is a crystal. Can you see my screen, Shivam? Yeah.
Yes, yes, I can
Yeah,
perfectly.
so here there's a crystal and there's a hibiscus flower on the crystal. Imagine you put the hibiscus flower on the either side of the crystal, and then you try to observe the hibiscus flower from the opposite side of the crystal. The crystal will appear red to you, right? But that redness of the crystal is not its intrinsic property. The moment you remove the hibiscus away, that redness goes, right? So I can say that the redness or the color that the crystal apparently acquired was borrowed. So that in that context, that redness was not an intrinsic property; it was borrowed, and that's why it is false, mithya. And this is what Shankaracharya expounds in his lectures to say that why is the consciousness alone real? Because consciousness alone exists, and he uses this word called Sat Chit Anand. Sat is again a Sanskrit word which means existence itself. Sat is not a thing that exists; it's existence itself. Chit, Chit means consciousness. Consciousness is not a conscious experience; it's consciousness itself. Ananda, I am kind of flexing my surname here, but Ananda is nothing but is not happiness. It is pure bliss itself. See, happiness and sadness are part of this world, which are limited by time, space, causation, right? Ananda is not an experience, right? The fact that it is an experience is what makes it unreal, because experience comes and goes. Experience increases and decreases. Look at any past experience of your life. It'll come and go. It is temporary. As the Buddha said, Anityam, Anityam, Sarvam Anityam. Everything is impermanent, right? So the fact that Sat Chit Anand is nothing but that pure existence from which everything arises is what makes us Brahman. And you use this knowledge. So whenever things are not going your way, you imagine yourself that I am the one that illumines everything. Things exist because of me. I am the one with Brahman. I am the one with God. I and God are one but the same. Imagine how powerful you'll feel, like how, if you embrace this knowledge, how the amount of strength that you will gain, that everything that appears to me is not real. What the ultimate reality is, nothing but the one and only consciousness. And to whatever imagine an ocean, right? If waves arise in the ocean, does the ocean increase? If waves subside, has the ocean lost any volume of water? No, right? So let the waves arise, let the problems come, let humiliation come, let death come, destruction come, whatever comes in your life, you haven't changed one bit. You are still that ultimate Sat Chit Anand, the ultimate consciousness that illumines everything. Things come into existence because of you. You are that all pervading luminous self that empowers, that provides existence to everything in this world. So yeah, this is using this theory, we can kind of feel empowered and deal with whatever comes in a life with the slightest iota of misery, because everything around you is nothing but that one reality. You are that one reality. Whatever we see, whatever we experience, packed tight with everything is that one Brahman only. Packed tight with God is that one Brahman only. So anything that goes, that doesn't go your way, that problems that arise is nothing but an appearance. So I know this is very abstract to listen and very hard to digest, but once you get it, it will help you a lot. Like I don't know, I personally don't know anyone who has, but the moment you look at the gurus who have attained this knowledge, you look at a photo of Ramakrishna Paramahansa, you look at a photo of Swami Vivekananda, you can feel that energy in you, like, because the one they have realized this very thought, right? And that is the ultimate goal of Vedanta, also to attain a fearlessness, to know that you have solved your personal problems. And that is what enlightenment is all about. It is just being fearless. When King Janaka attained enlightenment, the sages said that abhayam o praptasi o Janaka, means today you have attained fearlessness, not enlightenment. So that is the ultimate goal of Vedanta, that is trying to teach us. And yeah, like at the first instance it might be hard, and that's why there are many other schools of thought for you that we can use to deal with our personal problems, that we'll probably discuss sometime later down the line. And Shivam will also talk a lot about that, like Bhakti Yoga or Karma Yoga, Sankhya Yoga, which are there in the Gita. Because Bhakti Yoga, right? I'll just talk a bit about Bhakti Yoga also, because since we are embodied beings, right? We are made of nature. We are made of the elements of nature. So it's a natural tendency to be driven by the sense organs. Eyes want to see, ears want to hear, hands want to touch, we want to see something to believe it. Okay, like we spoke about this ultimate existence, consciousness, bliss, but at the end you cannot see it, right? And even in the Bhagavad Gita in chapter 12, Krishna himself says that it's very hard for embodied beings to be attached to the Nirakar Brahma. So he advises us to also get in the to get and closer to the Saguna Brahma, or this the figure of Krishna, the figure of any deity that you like. Because at the end we are humans, like we like to associate with like objects, like that's why using a figure of God and developing that feeling of love towards God, because true love is causeless, like there is no cause. Because you come to somebody not because of any reason, even if they don't, you can't see them, you don't meet them, you don't talk to them, but you come to them because you love them, and that's what bhakti is. And yeah, that can also be used, like whenever things don't go down, whenever you any personal problems you have, throw all your personal problems at the feet of Krishna, throw all, okay, and don't ponder about the subject, okay, don't blame anyone, don't ponder about, oh, why did this happen, okay, I am having these problems. Throw everything and at the feet of Krishna, and he will take care. So yeah, this path is also a very motivating path, and a very emotion path, because it works at the level of the heart. And that also helps. And yeah, this is what I wanted to say for this part. And I would like to tell Shivam to add his thoughts, and what can he suggest about yeah, how to deal with personal problems, or how does he deal with them. Yeah, over to you, Shivam.
Okay, thank you, Saurabh. Yeah, I think that was pretty insightful, and I totally agree with the ideas of Advait Vedanta and everything.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I am very much aligned with your thought process, and I think that's how I would also look to check upon the things. It could be suffering, it could be uncertainties, issues, and everything. And I think that's the way, because everything that is coming to you through this life or through many different
It's
experiences,
8:45.
which could be some experience could be out of actually this the realm that we are living in, the things that our senses are feeling. I mean, out of the natural things, there are a lot of emotions and feelings. So I think we should definitely absorb that way, and we should understand that this again, everything is temporary. So whatever is coming, whatever has arrived, it has to go, it has to depart. And that way, and yeah, some sense of connection with the almighty is something that always I would say that always has strengthened me at lots of times in my life. So I think, yeah, that's how you should always go about. You should know that, I mean, you should always focus on the blessings that you are having. You should always focus on the karma, the work that you can do. And rest, you should always leave up to the God, and things will, I mean, that actually gives, I don't know, people have different beliefs about gods. Different people follow, preach, or different people, some people are even atheists. It doesn't matter, but I think that is a very strong sense of connect when you follow it in a certain way, and it gives you a lot of power and energy.
Yeah, I
And
want to cut you off. Like there's a quote which says that you are an atheist only until you are in the trenches. So
yeah.
whenever things are going fine, then only you can remain in. Whenever things go down, you atheist and all doesn't work. Yeah, continue. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. Like, there are a lot of people who follow different kind of. I think there is some specific uh, Hinduism mythology in which people, I don't remember the exact word, but yeah, there people feel like you only got this one life, and all the things that you can do is for this, so you can just go and enjoy. And so, I mean, that's a perspective again. But I think at times, and it actually feels from inside the consciousness that you have and all that, it always feels like there is something. I mean, that's what I have experienced. I don't know much, but that's what I have experienced a lot of times. When things are out of your hand and somehow it just happens. So there is
Yep.
some very strong energy always behind us. So yeah, I think it's good. It's a good methodology to take no see things that way, and you will, I think, yeah, the suffering and everything will be very less, pretty less actually.
Yep.
And you will keep on following on the right path. I think that's what I wanted to add. Yeah.
Yeah, like kind of what close to what Krishna also says in the Gita, where He talks
Mm-hmm.
about chapter 2, verse 14, where he mentions a word called titiksha, which means
Mm-hmm.
forbearance, which is patience. And like when
Yeah.
Arjuna asks him, like whenever things don't go, when things don't go down, maybe what should I do? He simply says, "Yeah, you can't do anything. Just put up with it. Put up with it." That's what he says. So we have to
Exactly.
put up with it and just know that everything is temporary, anityam. And yeah, and like what I wanted, what what motivated me. I saw this old tweet of Sam Altman where he
Mm-hmm.
spoke about Brahman, and I was like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
even he's like the man of the year, whatever you call it. He's the one building and doing everything in our field, right? So I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
he also looked like, so if you read his tweet, he also looked. He's a fan of Ramanana Maharshi, and he's talking about Brahman and Atman. So he might be uh, as a Vedantist. Who knows? So that kind of intrigued me into like the cause for doing this video. And
Yeah.
yeah, probably in the next video, you think we can talk about Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Sankhya Yoga, and
Sure. Sure.
yeah, and that's what like even what you said about like bhakti also. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I also feel because most of us generally, I don't know, but the people I've seen, like they like to work. Very few people, like there's a balance. Some people like to work with the mind, the logic, but I'm the one personally who goes with the heart. So bhakti really works. And even like if you look at the great sages also, even Hanuman, there was a dialogue between like Hanuman, where he said that I know that the ultimate existence conscious in the Brahman, the Rupa, the Vishnu in Vaikuntha, who is the ultimate Brahman, as well as the Sri Rama. He's the body from. I know both of them are nothing but one. But I love the lotus feet of. I love the lotus eyes of Sri Rama. So even like Hanuman is like the ultimate manifestation of all the four yogas. Even he was into bhakti. So that goes on to show that bhakti is something that is very empowering, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, it gives kind of a inner strength, and I mean, yeah, it actually how do I say, it actually frees you out of a lot of things like ahankara, and there are a lot of things, ego, frustration, anger, a lot of things. Those things also calm down. So I think it has a very, I mean, magical effect, I would say, because if you don't have these kind of things, it's easy to, get affected a lot with the ups and downs that's part of pretty much every other person's life. But I think bhakti is a very great way to actually manifest yourself and basically connect have that great connect with God. And I think it really works out, especially when I think there have been some situations when you are like, oh, I don't know how to deal with it. Or I mean, if I say, you may not feel that strengthened to actually face it, but when you have this kind of beliefs and this kind of things around you, I mean that's so powerful, and that actually takes you out of almost any situation. So I think, yeah, it has a very big role in shaping a person's, I mean, whole life and every path, and it actually helps to get more closer to the Almighty, which is, I mean, which is very great thing. Yeah.
Yeah, nice chat we had, Shivam, today. Probably we'll see what we
Yeah.
can do next week.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was
Okay.
good chatting. And yeah, we'll probably meet next week and see how it goes. And see you soon. Bye.
Yeah. Nice chatting. Bye.